3. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the World Drone Community. Today is December 27th. At least it is here, so it should be there. It's 7 o'clock at night, and with my co-host, Al Duran, and co-host, Johnny Drumflyer.
Co-host, I like that. Hey, Robbie and Al, Happy New Year and Merry Christmas all together this week. I know we got a busy week again, but seems like, you know, when you're going up toward New Year's, things settle down a little bit. That Christmas rush always gets to everybody, I know.
Agreed. And I wanted to welcome a couple of the guys who are already in here. Matt Bagwell is in here, and we have, we have Alan from Drone View Media, and One Vision Aerial is jumped in here, and that's Dustin. Is that correct, guys?
Yeah, Dustin Gable. Yeah.
Okay, good. Hey, Dustin, welcome, guys. So, what was your favorite present from Santa Claus, or did you get a lump of coal?
Well, wait a minute. We gotta welcome my sister. First time I seen her in the audience or the chat over here, Kathy. I'm here.
Oh, so gosh, I missed Kathy.
It's not Travel Tech, it's World Drone. That's me talking to you. So,
hey, Kathy, apologies. I should have called you out. And JSK Enterprises is also in the house. Mike from Fly Zone Drones is here. Yo, kids. How you doing?
I didn't get any coal. I didn't get a lump of coal this year.
No, I didn't think so.
I bought her a little, well, actually, I did buy some coal before I left there, but it was in the form of a diamond. So I didn't have no Christmas money.
Yeah, it's a highly compressed carbon molecule.
Yeah, exactly. When I went to get her ring, there was a guy in there, and he was asking the jeweler. He said, "Now I want to get one of them lab created ones because I can get it for like 80% less." He was all preparing his money to buy it and everything else, and he said, "Do you think she'll be able to tell? And if she takes it into a jewelry shop, if they test it with a diamond tester, will it show diamond?" And he said, "Absolutely." And he goes, "Great." He goes, "But if they put it on the microscope, on the inside, it's written lab created." He goes, "Oh, you could see his whole world crush." And he's like, "I guess I want to spend more." I was like, "Get in line, buddy. Get in line."
Oh man, somebody burst his bubble real quick, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, but at least he didn't buy it.
I got to shut all my doors so I don't wake up all my kids.
So between that and the drones and all the other equipment I bought this year, my Christmas is done. I bought my fiance a little scooter.
Yeah, I saw that little scooter.
It bottomed out because I'm just too damn heavy for that. And it was so funny because I told her, "Hey, I want to get a motorcycle." And she's like, "It's dangerous. You don't need a motorcycle." But after I bought her little scooter and rode on it with her, I said, "Honey, I might damage your scooter." So she was really concerned about the scooter. She was like, "Maybe you should get a motorcycle." I was like, that's a good idea. So for Christmas, I got a new Honda Rebel, and it's been fun.
Now, I'll tell you what, Johnny, Robbie is very good at social engineering. So he usually does well at the social engineering end. So yeah, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, I love that. You know, Al, you saw my little Honda scooter, and I'll tell you what, you saw my Harley, but I'll tell you what, the little Honda, I had the little Super Cub 125, and I'll tell you what, that is the most fun thing to ride around town. And Bailey, my granddaughter, rides it. Well, she's not licensed. I mean, she's licensed to drive a car, but she don't have a motorcycle license. But she'll go around a block. She loves that thing, and I'll tell you what, it's fun.
Scooter. Well, your scooter, if it's really a scooter, you don't need a license to drive it, right? Because it's a motorcycle.
Well, anything over in Louisiana, anything over 50 cc's got to be.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
It's a state thing.
Yeah, it's not a trail. You know, even if it's like I say, anything over 50 cc's, which most of those little bitty bikes are what they call I don't even know what they call them now. You know, used to be what we call them things. Just the little home built scooters, you know.
Yeah, mini bikes. Or
the mini bike. Yeah, mini bike was what.
Man.
Yeah, everybody had a mini bike, but they was like really a Briggs and Stratton, or you know, a low,
exactly
little engine.
The little pool with the banana seat.
Yeah, man.
And it broke down.
Making ramps and trails that jump on and all that stuff. My mother decided she wanted to give it a go, and we're like, okay, and she jumped, but was all stiff. You know, when you land, you got to be relaxed to absorb it. And man, her feet flew straight out, and she dumped the bike, and she cut her legs really bad.
Oh
And we
Lord.
felt so bad.
Remember that thing had tires like this wide on it.
Yeah, it was chain driven.
They were fun. We have a lot of problem is here. Had we not had speed bumps in the subdivision, I wouldn't have needed to buy a motorcycle because we've got like 8 speed bumps between here and the entrance where the security guard is. And that little bike going over, even when I go slow, I can hear it go like scrape.
Yeah.
But the big bike's better, but I do need to practice. I mean, I've ridden motorcycles before on the farm when I was in Kentucky, but never really out on the wide road.
You can get that Mavic 3.
It's a learning process.
Get that Mavic 3 and track you on that bike now.
Shit, hey, I got to pay attention to the bike first. But yeah, I'm eager to go out there and fly. We have we got a wall around our subdivision, and the people that really live close to the outer walls, there's a jungle on the other side. I mean, like literally jungle. So about 2 weeks ago, I heard this dog just going crazy, like something was going on, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And everybody started running, and it was like one of those. They got these things over here they call dragons. It's like a Komodo dragon, but they're smaller.
Wow.
It had crawled over the fence and in there and grabbed the dog and took the dog over the wall.
Oh.
And then with that came a bigger dog that went and started fighting with him, and he let him go. So he saved his little dog buddy. But everything on the other side of this wall is trying to kill you. The snakes. So luckily I'm 2 houses down from the wall, so I'm pretty safe. But some of the stuff that they have is a little bit different.
Hey, Guatemala was the same way. Like Costa Rica, remember you had to have your perimeter completely sealed. You live in a courtyard, and there's cinder block walls all the way around with glass broken and embedded in the cement. What does that remind you of, Johnny?
That's
there's a mini bike right there, right?
Yeah, so that's electric there, huh?
They're usually pretty expensive. Let me show you the price.
That's like probably $3,000. What? No, $1,200.
No, that's $1,200. There's no shock absorption on the front either. Oh no, there is. Yeah.
Where?
You see? Right here. See this fork right there?
Maybe Brian Singleton.
Really? Okay.
Maybe, I wonder if Brian Singleton has that one. He's got a ton of them. He does the reviews and stuff.
Yeah, you can see the shock absorbers here a little better on the front, but nothing in the back. So
wow,
that's why it's $1,100. How much can you get them for in Thailand?
I have no idea. I mean, well, I'll tell you one. I didn't pay much more for this scooter that I bought her. This Honda, I think it was like $1,200, $1,250. It was almost $1,300. But I mean, that's pulled the wrapper off, ready to go, never been drove, but just a little bit of gas. So to get something brand new for that cheap, it's amazing.
Yeah, well, this one here will definitely carry 2 people, like the old days on that mini bike, like Johnny and I were, like we were discussing, right, Johnny?
Yeah, that'd be. Hey, I tell you, the little scooters and all that is, and of course, e-bikes are taking over. They got a ton of e-bikes out there and stuff. It's fun. Well,
I'll tell you what, if you're learning the FPV, one of these things are very handy because then you don't have to walk to get it.
Yeah,
you just get on this thing, you go get it and come back in no time.
But Al, I've got one question about this bike.
Yes, sir.
Can I do a wheelie on it?
Yeah, you can. As long as I'm following you with a drone.
I still got a scar on my knee from that.
All right, I'm going to stop sharing because I'm going to go looking for that video where you crashed. Now you're going to make me.
Yeah, Al just had to make a video, but at least he did ask me.
Well, the whole premise.
I put it on Facebook, and somebody said, "Aren't you embarrassed that you wrecked that bike?" I was like, "Well, you know what? I'd rather you guys laugh with me than at me," and it was funny as hell. So I just got to show it.
So did anybody get any new drones for Christmas or Al?
No, I just got drone parts that I needed.
Yeah,
because I'm doing a new build. Let me pull it up. So this is my new build. This is the HGLRC. I'm sure you guys are pretty familiar with it. So to get to the meat of it, I'm just going to show you what the frame looks like. Johnny, it's a 4-inch frame.
Oh, wow.
It's a really nice frame. I don't normally get the unified frames because
Well, Al, is that a complete kit or that's just?
Yeah. So here's the rest of the components right here.
Wow.
And then for motors, I got. I ended up getting 1408s instead of 1404.
So is that
1508? Sorry, 1508.
Is that going to be digital or?
Oh yeah.
Everything, yeah. You.
And then this is going to be the. Let me put it the right way. Oh, this way. You guys dizzy yet? Let me make you dizzy.
No, it's good. It's actually, that's right there. It's a little blurry. Pull it back.
Oh yeah, Nebula. Okay, I got Vista. Okay.
Ooh, there we go. And then I'm using this flight stack, which is a 35 all-in-one 35 amp ESCs from Beta FPV, and so I got two of them. So the build's going to be two of them. But here's the flight stack. It looks pretty freaking tiny, right? Let me see if I can get this thing to. Oh yeah, it's.
Huh. So how long will it take you to build that drone from start to finish if you sit down with everything?
Half a day usually, and that includes the beta flight stuff.
Right.
Sometimes what aggravates me the most is the registration of the DJI stuff. That really pisses me off because of the fact that, like, what business do you have knowing that I registered this thing? Why do you need to know that I'm registering?
So that you have to register the air unit? Is that or?
Yeah, and the Catic Vistas too. You won't not get any video unless you activate it.
Really?
First you register and then you act. Well, it's the same thing, really.
Yeah.
I
wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, so any of your builds, you have to activate it, and then after activate it, you go into beta flight, and then you create all your modes. What you want for throttle. Of course, you know what you want for throttle, but you know what I mean for arming, buzzard, acro. So you need an additional 4 more channels. So usually that's pretty fun for me because it's kind of like Linux. So
yeah,
Robbie, you were in the Linux world for a while, so you probably still are.
Not that much on the server side mainly, but mainly the guys do that. I mean, I keep some of the stuff. I have to keep it locked down because of security password wise. But yeah, over here when I was registering my drones, I was talking to the guy that sold me my insurance, and he does FPV and GPS both. And I told him, I was like, I want to get into doing some FPV. I'm going to need to buy some stuff and this and that. So he pointed me in the direction of some guys here, and they've got a pro league here. So he said, these guys, you need to get in with these guys because they speak English. And he said, get out and fly with them because they're local and you can go. And he said, and I asked him, I said, well, every time I buy a drone, I got to call you and pay you money for the insurance and everything else. And he said, in Thailand, if it don't have a serial number on it, you don't have to register it. And I was like, well, can I scratch off the serial number of my GPS drones? He goes, no, it don't work like that. They got a model number.
Does that include guns?
I'm laughing at Marcus because he says about a flight stack. Marcus, a flight stack is like 3 stacks of pancakes. I think 3 pancakes instead of 4.
And on the side, you have maple syrup, dude.
Yeah. No, Marcus is about like me, I don't know. I heard my son-in-law talk about it. Of course, I've heard people talk about it. But, hey, it is watching my son-in-law, Al, I was telling you pre in the back room, Matt, my son-in-law, and you met Matt.
Right.
He built the drone, and he was really
super nice guy.
He was doing great yesterday. We went out to the field, but it's a lot of working parts of the FPV. Man, it's just you got to have everything. That you got to bring everything. He brought his laptop. He didn't bring his little soldering iron, but I tell you what, you need a lot of stuff out there to fly.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a challenge, isn't it?
It really is. And look, I got the little Tiny Hawk 2 they gave me that for Christmas, and of course I had the freestyle, but man, if it wasn't for Matt, I wouldn't even be able to get up, because he does the beta for me and all of that. But it's a lot of working parts to that.
Well, it is. I mean, it's if you like to build things, this is the hobby for you. If you don't like to build things, This is probably not a hobby for you.
Well, it's not hey, it's not as easy as like taking this out of the box or something,
Hey, one thing that was on the test here, the pilot's license test and getting the insurance is when you go out, you got to take a fire extinguisher with you.
Really?
Ooh-wee.
Really.
What if you flying over water? You don't need the fire extinguisher.
I don't know, but they say when you fly, you have to have a fire extinguisher handy. So I'm gonna try to go out and get one of those little jobs. I guess they think the lipo's gonna hit something, start a fire. I don't know what's going on, but it's in the list of what you had to know in order to pass it. And you only go 300 foot. You can't fly. And the hardest part about it is the whole test was in kilometers and metric.
Yeah.
So I'm over here trying to cancel. I don't know the answer because I'm like, how long is a mile? I mean, 5K is 3.2 miles. So you got to stay 9 kilometers away from an airport. You can't fly around hospitals or police stations. And some, what do they call them? They're not churches over here. They're called like, I don't know, like the
worship centers.
Yeah, the worship, stuff like that. And then you got to stay 90 meter above people. You can't get below 90 meter above people or, you know, a building or something like that. So they got a lot of rules. But when I look online over here, the people that are flying, they all breaking the rule.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, you could look back. I mean, if you pull up YouTube, I know, Al, you've been flying a long time. Every flight could probably be kind of, you know, on the verge of, I say, being illegal. It's not that it's.
But you know, today though,
I think it's all with intent.
With the zooms we have, it'd be hard. It would be
really,
hard for them to prove.
Absolutely, yeah. 28 times zoom on that. What on the Mavic 3?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Evo 2 just updated their firmware to, was it 14 or 16 times, I think. So.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's optical?
I'm not sure about the Evo 2.
Because the Mavic 3, the M3 is, I think it's 14X on the optical. And then after that, it's digital.
Right. But I mean, Robbie, you know, you got the Mavic 3, so you definitely. I know Captain Race, you know, sent a picture of just some water, and then he said, "Look out there, there's a boat." And if you do, and then when he zoomed in on it, I'll tell you what, it's pretty clear, you know.
Yeah, it is. It is. But you know, I'll tell you one thing: the battery life. I filmed a parade, and I put the Mavic 3 up and hovered, and man, I tell you, I mean, the battery did okay, nothing great, but when I compare it to the Air 2S hovering. Air 2S lasts a lot longer. It really did on both batteries. I was almost to the point where like, I don't even want to use a Mavic 3 because I was up so close anyway above the road where I was pointed down doing the filming. I just got to the point where I was like, man, I should have just had it not been for the time that I needed and I only had the 3 batteries, I wouldn't have even put the Mavic 3 up because I'm telling you, the Air 2S did the job.
Yeah, well, the Air 2S, I mean, you know, even I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago, Billy was on the show, and Billy Kyle, you know, and even Noble, I think they're still using that Mavic, the Air 2S a lot, you know, for the real estate stuff. Even though you know the Mavic 3 is, you know, and it's better. I know it's better in the long run.
For flying in general, the battery will last a lot longer than the Air 2S when the Mavic 3 is flying. But when you're hovering.
That's the hardest thing for a drone to do. You know that, right?
Yeah.
And then if you yaw in place is even harder. Hey, check out this video I have here. And we're talking about FPV flying. All right. Okay. So it should play on its own. I forgot to check the box for audio. Let me go ahead and back out.
It looks like Star Trek.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. Does it fly? Yeah. Oh, it's on top of a drone. Oh, that's cool.
All right, camera's down-ish. All right,
I think I'm ready. All right, I'm going to move you out a little bit so I can follow you. Which way are you taking off?
Al, I'm just going to try and fly. You can find me to follow you?
I will.
I'm not going to plan a flight. I'm just going to...
That must be either a really, really light. Wow. That's weight. You can hear it.
Yeah.
This would have been top 10 when they had Star Trek movies out.
It's flying pretty well considering.
Wow. That's a lot of weight. Wow. How heavy was the Star Trek model now?
I don't know. It's probably 120 grams, easy, maybe 250.
Wow.
But he's doing a wonderful job. See, on the back is a Cadec Vista. No, I'm sorry. It's a Vista 360. That what's on that boom in the back?
Who is this?
It's a home, it's home built drone. It's a 5-inch quad.
Who's flying it?
Oh, Kyle Donnelly is my buddy.
Wow. He's doing good.
Oh, good. I turned down the volume a little bit. Oh, I didn't know I could do that. Here's in slow motion, guys. This is what happens. There was a little sucker, and he hits it. You can see it bent.
Oh,
and
wow.
And everything survived. Is this the 360 survived? He's going to share the video for me, and then I'm going to put something together
Oh, wow.
on top of that. So you got to be able to get a view of what that's going on. He did give me the video, and I could try to show you what it looks like, but it's a little bit of it's really, really kind of like, it's too pixelated. So I asked him to share it with me, using a Google Drive or something like that. But yeah, so I'm done. I want to come in and talk to him because I know he crashed, and it was a yard sale. I know he since the 360 went flying somewhere, so I needed to get in here and give him a hand looking for stuff. I didn't know how bad things were, because I've lost my
Video's not that bad. Video's not that bad on it out. It's hard to tell anyway because you got your light going, and then plus you've got the compression of what we're doing online too on the bandwidth end.
Yeah, that's
so,
true.
Actually, it's not bad.
This is actually the Cadec Peanut that's doing it. Well, that was fun.
There's Al.
It's going to be really amazing. I can't wait to see it. I hope you guys.
Al, now's the point you're supposed to turn the volume up.
Oh, okay. Channel, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, hit that notification bell. See you guys around. All right, guys, that was a fun flight, right? So I just carried the drone. It was still recording, and I wanted to see how things were. And Kyle's freaking crazy good pilot. And you can see how big it is.
Well, there's 2 screw holes. They'd be perfect to mount it right on top.
When I was right behind you the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
I was.
Good. Well, we got some decent footage out of it.
Yeah. I think so. I'll share it with you. But you're right. That video on your little motorcycle came out. So that's awesome. About it. I mean, the rest of it's just us chatting. So, thanks for sharing that. Appreciate it. What did you think, Johnny?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And let me see if I can. The Insta 360 video was amazing too.
It's fun. It's definitely fun to watch. I had a great day at spin down the next day at spin up. On Sunday when y'all flew. Man, I tell you what, it's fun watching the FPV, and I don't know. I'm getting there. I guess I'm taking a little longer than, but I haven't really put the effort and time. And I know my son-in-law Matt spent a lot of time in a simulator, and I know some people like the simulator and some don't, but I saw it yesterday firsthand, because he's never even really showed a lot of interest in my camera drones, and just kind of out the blue one day, he said, hey, I want to build a drone, FPV drone. So he kind of started watching Joshua Baldwell and some of those guys, but he's doing good. And it just shows you, and maybe, coming from the background, I personally think, well, I ought to be doing better because I can fly a camera bird, but it's got nothing to do with it at all. No, you're better off with a fixed wing. The fixed wing is more like it. Yeah. Because I know Matt, he never even, I thumb, and man, I guess I'm really heavy on the thumb on an FPV drone. It's just a little bit is a lot, Well, you know what you could do with beta flights? Go ahead and bring down your throttle to 60% max. Yeah. But it's all about throttle management. If you can learn throttle management,
you got it. But 3 batteries a day is what you need to bring it down to like 4 months. If
Sure.
you do 3 batteries a weekend, it'll take you a whole year.
Yeah. Hey, but it's fun. It's fun watching him, learn and grow. And but I still like the camera birds, and those are fun too. So, but hey,
I gotta get on board and get going. I was talking to one of the FPV guys yesterday, and he was showing me some of the equipment. Man, they got like rooms full of stuff over here because it's everywhere.
right?
And he was showing, I had the Radio Master and I sold it before I left, which I was going to get another one here. And the guy's like, "Yeah, get a Radio Master." He said, "But also get a fly. It's a Fly Sky Nirvana NV1 is what he says he uses." And I was like, "Well, do you use that with the one drone?" And he showed the room he was in, and he had like 30 drones, stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
So,
well, they got 30 drones on them. They seem like some of them had 30 drones on the back of their backpacks. It's been
evidently he left.
That was Doc, man. Doc showed up with a truck full.
Yeah, Doc had. I don't know how many drones he had, but he had a Radio Shack back of his truck. I can tell you that.
This guy was a computer. He was a computer guy, computer science guy, and I guess he left his job and started doing FPV full time. So now he races and he gets paid to do it.
Really?
So I've got some stuff working with him. So be on the lookout. There may be really soon a new FPV channel coming out here, and it's good because they all speak English, and we can see what they got, and they're actually professionals. They get paid to do it. So these guys are can give us some really good tips, and I think it'd be pretty neat to be able to have something with those guys that we could have another show.
I know one thing I do find myself out, and you probably and everybody in the chat, if you're watching a guy flying FPV, and if he's going in a building and you see even as watching it, you see like a little window, it's like, okay, hit that window. So, and it's like you kind of now, even when I'm driving in a truck, it's like, and I don't even know nothing about FPV that much, but it's like, man, that'd be great to fly through there, so you kind of always kind of looking from a drone's eye view,
I agreed. All right, I'm going to see if I can share my screen. I found the video. It is really bad because she shared it with me with just messages,
Okay.
And so it looks a little different, but so this is the Insta360 view. Check it out. It looks like it really is flying. Can't you play here? Oh.
He should have put some green material over that orange. Wow.
Yeah, wow, that's weird looking there. That is cool.
So, I mean, it's horrible. I'm sorry about the sound. I shouldn't have checked that box.
No, it's okay. That's wild.
But you get the idea. That's what it looks like, and I can't wait to get the real video.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can speed it up to the crash. Oh, here comes a crash. Here comes a crash. Let's see what it looks like on the crashes.
Nope.
Yeah, there's a crash.
That's a crash.
Yeah, I tell you, man, the crash is hey, you know what, Al, you know about that. It's part of that, flying. So it's gonna happen.
And you got to rebuild every time,
Yeah.
And that's all right. Remember last time we were here, Robbie, that this little drone was hanging in pieces?
Yep.
Is no longer in pieces. Look at it.
It's together now.
Yeah, and I got a 3D printer for my birthday, Johnny. So I've been making my 3D printed parts. So as you know, we're always breaking stuff. So I made spares.
Yeah, I think Ken Hubbauer got a 3D printer for his son. He said it was for his son, but yeah, so they'll be setting that up. So hey, if you don't get what you want for Christmas, just buy your son or your daughter, what you really wanted, I guess.
That's it back there. You
just got that? You just got that going, the 3D?
Yeah, I got it for my birthday. I have a birthday mid-December.
Okay.
I requested that for my birthday.
I know. I see Brad's in the chat, and I know Brad's
been doing it
a couple years now, the 3D printing.
Oh yeah, he's the man. for 3D printing, that's for sure.
Yeah, he printed a couple parts for my son-in-law Matt and got it to him. I think a antenna holder or something and some little feet. So
yeah, I printed a bunch of stuff for my wife. Started there, printed her. She loves elephants, so I printed it. Elephant. It's kind of a cute little sucker, man. It holds the phone. It's this cute elephant holding with the trunk holding a phone. So it's really. And then I did a napkin holder that also elephant because she loves elephants, as I said. And then I did a monitor stand that she got a new makeup mirror, and it's looks like a tablet. I've never seen it. So you fold it, put it away like a tablet, and you open it up and it's a makeup mirror. So it's really, really cool.
yeah, my granddaughter got one yesterday like that. I think it basically, it folds trifold.
Yeah.
It's pretty neat. So what do y'all think, Al, Robbie, what do you think about, it looks like Autel is starting to ship these drones out?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen the reviews? I mean, have you seen the videos? There a lot of videos are dropping for their.
Yeah, I've seen that X Explorer.
The Evil Light.
Geeks Vinyl that did that, the opening.
Yeah, and the Evil Light came out, man. There's people out there flying that thing for like 35 minutes solid.
Really? I hadn't seen a whole lot on it, but.
Yeah, I was looking at the video on the when I live streamed last week.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can find it for you. Hang on. Yeah, some pretty interesting stuff is happening there. That's for sure.
They took long enough to get them. That's for sure. I think. Let's see. Marcus says, "Yeah, he got he got his tracking number today." Marcus said.
Oh, good. Congrats, Marcus. Now,
somebody else on Facebook said it. I'm not sure, either on the chat somewhere, but.
So, Marcus, did you get the light version, or which one did you get?
I'm not sure what Marcus got. I think it was a Nano Plus Light, maybe.
You're probably right. Yeah. So Nano Light. Let's see what.
That website, Autel, is like, oh my God, it's kind of. The other day it was like going in circles when you try to look at the drones.
Yeah, and most of the time you're better off going to somebody else's site to get the specs. You know what I mean, Johnny?
Yeah, he got the Nano Plus of what Marcus says. He
got the Plus.
Okay, the Plus. So is that like the Air 2S?
No, the Light is.
The Light is. Okay, I got you.
The Light is. That's competing. It's got a 6K camera. And it's looking pretty good, man. Let me see if I can find this guy. There he is.
Yeah, Hot Rod. Yeah, Hot Rod saying, yeah. There's actually 4 drones. Okay.
All right, so I'll go ahead and bring this up. Hopefully I won't put the audio on it like I did last time. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, yeah, that's the one I saw earlier, yeah.
And so he flies at night. So this is actually a pretty good camera for nighttime, guys. And one of the things that I noticed that it was actually pretty good. See, this is set up with the Pro version.
Yeah.
So you can do your ISO, you can do your shutter, and
so you can change all the settings right there. Yeah.
Right. So it's a 6K camera. You can change your aperture. So it goes from 2.8 to f11. So don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's f11 though. And then he gets up in here and he's going to do a time lapse. And what I'm trying to find is where. He shows a time lapse. I think here it is coming up. Hopefully. Nope, maybe not. I'll keep looking. Yeah, the time lapse coming, if I remember right. So he gets to this intersection here and he starts doing the time lapse. And the time lapse came out pretty good. I think he moved a little bit. Let's see how steady it is. So he's probably off the throttle right now, off the right thumb also, pitch roll. So you can see it doing the time lapse here. And I think right about here, he'll show you the video coming up, the results, hopefully. Hopefully it won't. I do like this interface. What do you think of the interface, Johnny?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it looks like everything's right there, and I see that. Well, that warning. I don't know what that warning would be. Probably.
And there's the time lapse. Check it out.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
And this is even better because he didn't move at all. That was really nice. That was nice. So yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff happening here this guy here has a couple videos. The Great Explorer. He's going to get a lot more subscribers. That's for sure. Videos is what I meant to hit.
Yeah, and I think I don't know if I was in. I think somebody said he had maybe the first Xeno. Was that right? Maybe, or the Xeno.
That I wouldn't know, but look at what he has. He has all of them right here, and that's the Nano right there, I believe. That looks like it. And see, behind it is the one that competes with Air 2S, and that's the light.
Okay, okay, right there, yeah.
And so you can see the size difference. But yeah, and so he's talking about it and all that jazz.
I think John Bonifant. I'm not sure if John ordered one. He's in a chat here, I see. But I think Harley FPV. Yeah, Greg ordered a little bit early. He said what did he order? Nano. I'm not sure what he ordered.
Yeah, but it looks pretty good. I mean, sorry for keeping this tags and all that jazz that I run from analytics. Hey, Leo, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, Matt Bagwell, I'll check that out. You sent a video.
So anyway, sorry to bore you guys. Remove from stream. There we go.
Well, then, hey, move fast forward. It might be a Mini 3 coming out soon for DJI. So I'm sure that going to be the next thing.
Game's on, right?
Yeah, it's
Robbie, what do you think? Game's on. So we have now Hubson, kicking at his heels with because the flight characteristics of the Hubson Xeno Mini Pro are nice. I think the camera is going to get fixed again. I mean, we all,
again.
Yeah, again. So what can we say about Mavic 3? Well, they came out half baked too. So It's just the way it is. They're trying to get the market before anybody else. They're trying to establish that leadership.
I think the Mavic 3 had Mavic 3 had an update yesterday or day before.
That's what I heard. Yeah.
Yeah. And I saw a lot of the features.
I just don't see the Mavic 3 generating a whole lot of views for our channels, Johnny, because all the other big headers are going to suck the air out of the room, Flight Path, and OriginialdoBo, and all those guys that are reviewing it. They're just so big, and so most people go there. I don't know. I mean,
the Mini 3 though, I think will definitely. What do you think? Some of the features that obstacle avoidance, a little bit bigger camera, or do you think it'll
active track? It's going to have active track again,
right?
Because Xeno's already doing it. Phoebe's doing it with their Mini, and Phoebe calls it Smart Track,
right?
And the only way you can do it right now with the Mini product lines from DJI is you have to run Lychee, which is actually a very good platform to run it on. So Lychee is good. I like Lychee. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, and Brad's asking, and that's true. I think that a lot of people are acting, looking for those active track features. I mean, it's funny. You can zoom with the Mini 2 on a camera, but you can't zoom with the Air 2S with the camera mode. So it's still got some little quirks in there that are keeping all these drones separate by a small margin, but that margin is enough to make you think about the next drone coming out.
Yeah, no, I agreed. I tell you what.
Sometimes when I'm flying a Mini 2, and I realize I can zoom on photo, and then when you got the Air 2S, it's like, oh, you want to zoom with the photo? I say, oh, I can't do that, and it's weird. It's a more expensive drone and better camera, but it won't do it. So now, of course, the Mavic 3, Robbie, y'all got the you can zoom pretty damn good. So.
I wonder how cold it is in Idaho. Hey, Marcus, how cold is it there, buddy?
Well, Marcus said Yeah, I think he was doing a snow plow today. So yeah, and now you got a new FPV flyer in the club there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Marcus got the DJI FPV.
Nice, man. Congrats, Marcus.
But I don't think he flew it yet. So.
Yeah, I think what you do? Sell 4 shares of NVIDIA? Freaking NVIDIA is going to keep rocking. By the way, guys, it's going to continue going out of this stuff. You want to make some money. I told my neighbor about Cisco 20 years ago. He freaking crushed it, man. He was like a single guy, had all this cash flush, and I was like 3 kids trying to make it all work,
Yeah.
And at the time, I was working for Silicon Graphics, and we were doing a lot of Cisco work too, because they couldn't get into the classified sites that all the service engineers that were Silicon Graphics could. So we're always fixing their crap. And is Greg in here from Harvey?
He was, yeah. Greg was in here a few minutes ago. I know. I saw him. He sure was.
So what's everybody's plan for New Year's?
Well, I'm just gonna hang out here at the house, and the kids will pop some fire. Well, I'll say that right now I'm quarantined. Bailey has the COVID, my granddaughter. So we kind of stand separate here,
Marcus, what are you disagreeing about? I saw your note there. What are we disagreeing about? He'll tell us here in a second. Hey, Rod is here. Hot Rod in Daytona is here, man. Good to have you.
Getting drunk. Greg Pittman said he's getting drunk.
Cheers.
Greg, don't fly your drone drunk.
Salud, hermano.
Put it on. Hit return to home if you do.
Hey, and set the RTA altitude at 119 meters.
Yeah, I tell you, that was great.
Yeah. Oh shoot! I got top chat. I need to go to live chat. Sorry. No wonder I'm missing everything.
I don't know why it defaults to that darn top chat. It seemed like it would default to live chat.
I'll put the link in if anybody else wants to join in.
Mr. Brad Alston, man, how you doing, man? We're planning to get together on Wednesday, and I'm not sure if we're going to be able to do it. Go outside. We're definitely going to get together. I don't know what we're going to do. Probably play with 3D printers.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Al, Brad, what kind of printer do you have? The same brand that Brad got?
Yeah. I mean, the most popular printer in the world is the Enders. It's a Creality Enders 3 V2. So that's mostly what most of the people.
So was it fairly easy to set up, Al, and get going?
Oh, it took me about 3 hours to do it.
Yeah.
And then, I had watched a couple of guys kind of online how they did it. And so it wasn't that bad of a setup. But if you're a builder, it's not that bad. Because all you have to do is the instructions are horrible, by the way.
That's why they got YouTube. or Brad Austin. Yeah, Brad could just come by and say
always be the second guy to buy
it. Yeah, so Brad's got the Artillery Sidewinder X2, and he also had the Creality Enders 3 V2, which is the model that he recommended that I get. So I put a wish list together for my wife, and she picked that up for me. So it was super nice of her. And she actually got me this very nice thing. So Marcus, I'm moving over to the dark side. I'm sorry to say, this is the new iPhone 13 Pro Max. So this is the 15x optical camera on it. But it's been a brick. That's why you couldn't get a hold of me, Robbie. I can dial out, but I can't receive calls.
Never thought I'd see the day. It's karma. He has
I'm
been
like,
so
what?
Apple since I met him. So I mean, it would be the last phone that he would ever. So when he saw it, I was like, "Are you feeling? You got a temperature or something?"
So what was
Well-
wrong with it? What was wrong with Al? I mean,
So my old Android phone, my old Android phone here is a S10e Samsung, and it's Android, and it AT&T, and this is Verizon. So our
Hey,
family.
Marcus, I sent you a link in the messenger to pop in if you want to jump in, Marcus. And I put it in your messenger too.
yeah, I got the this is the Mini 13. I love the Mini. I mean, I kind of, I don't know. I like the smaller phone, but I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, because you know what? I'm all about the camera. The functionality of everything else is good too, but I'm all about the camera. But guess what? Get this. They gave me $800 for this.
Oh, really?
And this only cost $300. So they still made money, but production cost for them is probably, I don't know, $300.
Which phone did they give you 800 for?
The Samsung S10.
Really? I wonder what they'd give me for my Yami. It's got a crack in the screen.
Yeah, that one,
I'm over here now. That's okay. But you would think that that phone would be cheaper over here, but it's not.
Really?
Because it's not assembled here. I could probably buy the parts and stick one together, but it costs me more over here because it's assembled in the U.S.
Well, Marcus, you're right about that. I'm going to definitely love it for sure.
Yeah, the cameras. I know my daughter has that one. I tell you what, it's pretty nice. I mean, they all nice. I mean, mine takes really good pictures, and it's of course, next year, next September, that 13 will be old, just like everything else.
Yeah.
But the reason why I went for, I asked for the best was the fact that I'm going to keep it so long. Like you said, Johnny, I mean, I'm probably going to keep that thing 2 or 3 years.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had a 10, so I went from 10 to 13, which is 3 years. So that's because the batteries kind of start getting kind of, I don't know if it's set up like that but it definitely goes down pretty quick. And I know you can pop a new battery, but I've done that before, and that don't seem to really work much better for some reason,
I like the mail. I like the mail setup and the cloud setup for Apple because you got your pictures, your contacts, everything's there.
Well, you can just add that.
I do like that because I still have an iCloud email address from when I had my iPhone, and I still use it. I got to program it in a little different for my Android to pick it up, but
you can AirDrop so easy. That's pretty cool.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's very easy to do.
Well, and that's the thing. My whole family has them, and I'm the odd man out, so I don't get the memos sometimes. Oh, I forgot that is not on that. So
Kathy said Julie said you had to. Julie set it up for you.
She did. And I just got this today. Anybody been using this? Marcus, you have one of these?
Didn't I send you one?
Yeah, this is the one, Robbie.
No, it's not the one I sent you, but didn't I? I mean, I sent a package out before Christmas to some people in the chat. Didn't I send you a charger or just batteries or just a shirt?
Just a shirt, yeah. Because I didn't. Yeah, not that I know of.
I'll text David. I'll text David and tell him to send you because I got the batteries. You can evidently use the big battery in one of the FPV controllers, but I've got like 500 of those chargers, those wireless chargers.
So Rod here is making me crack up, man. He said he asked me how many. What was that? He asked.
How many bad apples or something?
Yeah, one bad apple. How many Apple phones do you have? One bad apple.
One bad apple.
So,
Johnny, I sent you a charger, didn't I?
Yeah. My granddaughter confiscated my charger.
Okay.
They were over here one day, and she was trying it, and she was like, "Papa, I'm gonna bring this home and just try it and charge my phone." And guess what? I never seen it, but hey, it's going to good use. Believe me.
Yeah.
They keep it on a bar right there at the house. So
yeah, but she's just slightly little bit cuter than you are. So I can.
Hey, Robbie, I got this video here if you want to. But this is my son-in-law Matt and Al.
Oh yeah, I want to see this.
And This is the drone he built.
The Sky Pimp 1.
I like
He's doing
that.
pretty damn good, I tell you.
Yeah, he is.
That's a perfect place to practice, too.
Yeah, we went to a softball, to the softball complex.
And what's he flying? What drone is it?
I don't know, it's a 5-inch that he built.
It's 5-inch. He's got enough ass to get out of his way.
Wow, he's doing good.
Yeah,
I guess if you're airborne, you're doing good.
Yeah, because Al, you know, when we flew at the house here, you got a lot of Wi-Fi, but he's flipping and doing all kind of crap.
So this is the time he needs to get back and save his battery. Once you drop too low, you're gonna ruin it. So tell him to come in at 14.7. 14.3 is getting really ugly. You might lose the battery. I've made that mistake, Johnny. That's how I know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I blew apart like 3 batteries.
He's got a
one
lot
day.
to learn, that's for sure.
Hey, he's doing good though. Hell, he's still flying.
Heck yeah. He doesn't have his timer there for how long he's been up, but it's looking great.
Yeah, he got 7 minutes out that battery.
Yeah, but he's
Wow.
down to 14.2. Have fun. You shut the boat doors for me? Thanks.
But yeah, it's cool. He's learning. There we are, right there, leaning against the dugout.
Well, yeah, sometimes standing up, man, you know how it is.
Yeah, it was 82 degrees yesterday, so we was like sweating our butt off. But I brought the Mini too, and I was flying it. Of course, I went across to the other field, so I didn't mess with him. But yeah, he did good.
Yeah, I mean, once you fire up those DJIs, it definitely steps all over your signal. Man, he's doing great, man.
He really is. How long you been flying?
Shit, not very long. That's really this is only the second time he actually flew that drone up. He flew it right here in the front yard, and the trees we got right there. Yeah,
I did a little trimming for you.
yeah, there's Matt there, yeah.
Wow.
That was fun. Yeah, that's always fun, man. It's good to see that.
He's got it. Well, I'll say, Marcus.
What's going on?
Doing well. Did somebody say FPV?
Yeah, look at you.
He got the combo.
Hey, you got to get the small rig set up too.
Marcus, I got a box like that, but they didn't look. It's something I don't know. FPV.
Yeah.
Here's what's left of mine.
What?
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I was going to say.
I took the canopy off, man. I didn't like this one. I wanted the green one. Everybody's like, "Ew, why'd you put the green one on there?" I was like, "So you could see it."
You can see it. Yeah.
Well,
Morgan's gonna love that drone because he's got a great place to fly it. I'm not saying,
gosh,
yeah.
And
The school
you'll
next door, Johnny?
You what?
The school next door?
No.
You said I got a great place to fly it over at the schoolyard next door.
No.
Yeah, that's a perfect place to learn.
You can get to that schoolyard about like a half a stick. You need to bring that thing out to that canyon.
There you go.
Definitely, and drop it all the way to the bottom and let it rip, man. Just
Well, I don't want to drop it. I don't want to break it, Al.
no. I mean, go down all the way to the bottom and skim that river, man. Because you got 4 antennas that it should not lose any signal.
Should not lose. Should not be the key.
Huh?
Should not.
Should not. Yeah.
Should not. Yeah. But if you do lose the signal, you know what it's going to do, right?
RTH, baby.
That's it, baby. Or if you're in trouble, what do? Lift trigger finger, man. Boom.
Yeah, hit that button.
I mean, nothing could be upside down, hauling straight into the ground. You hit that left trigger.
That's
You're
crazy.
like, yeah. So, yeah, that's Pucker Uranus trigger.
Pucker, it's called Pucker 10.
And you know how they say it in Latin America? Here you go, Marcus.
Is that what
They go up to you when you were scared. They go,
yeah.
and you're like, oh, shut up, man. Get out of here. Robbie and I have discussed that because, he spent a lot of time in Costa Rica. So one day we were flying and, I mean, they got hairy. And I was like, Robbie's like, yeah. So anyway, is it cold in Idaho?
It is, and it's going to get colder. We'll be in the low 20s tonight. By middle of next week, our highs will be in the teens. So, yeah.
This is how you get good ratings. You get one of these.
There you go.
Hey, Pamika, how are you?
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
All right.
Marcus, you was cutting the grass a couple weeks ago. Now you're blowing snow.
How quickly does it change? Yeah, I got out the ATV with the snow plow on it, and I was plowing the snow today. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's kind of like weather here, you know. I mean, we're in short pants and t-shirts again right now, you know.
Yeah.
Marcus, how cold is too cold to fly?
Say again, Robbie.
How cold is too cold to fly for you there? When do you normally not fly at what temperatures?
Never. Wind is what I worry about more than anything. And I'm not kidding you, Robbie. I've been out on the edge of the Snake River Canyon on a 20-degree day. But let me say, it was a blue sky day. It was a bluebird day, not a cloud in the sky. And it can be 20 degrees, but if that sun is shining on you,
right?
It's cold. Like the only time you notice the cold is like if you take your gloves off, and then all of a sudden your fingers will start to hurt. but
I know, right?
You don't even,
I've been out with Al a couple of times. It's been cold, and I'm like, "Hey, we'll be ready to leave in a minute." 15 minutes later, Al, we going home?
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If you want to see the epitome of a hardcore winter flyers, just check out Steve, Captain Drone. Holy crap, man! The stuff he goes through to fly up in Canada.
Well, I was going to say Jake Sloan up there in
that's
in
another one.
Yeah.
Alaska. Yeah.
That's another one. Now, what's Denali? Would you love to get to that mountain, Denali Mountain? How's it called? Yeah, I pronounced it right?
Well, did you guys see? I'm trying to remember. Not Jensen Dovey. How do you pronounce his name? Jason Dovey, Jensen Dovey. Anyway, he went up to Alaska. He went up to Alaska with Jake Sloan, and he was introducing the Mavic 3. They took a helicopter and they went out. It was, oh my God, it was amazing.
Sure
and
did.
They landed that thing on top of some of these, looks like a little chunk of snow.
You're not
lying.
lying.
The chopper, and then they were flying the Mavic 3. That was Jensen. No, man, I'm gonna have to get his name right now.
That was a video. The weather was so bad that they kept having to change their schedule when he went.
Right. Yeah, that was a fascinating video.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. That's when you need to dive into that snow with skis and have that Mavic 3 track you all the way down to the bottom.
Marcus, you got to buy a helicopter.
Yeah. You can roll on down. All
roll
the way
down
to
a hill.
You'll have all kinds of new friends.
Yeah, you will. I'm quite sure.
That's something we don't do. I mean, something I wouldn't know about. I wouldn't even know how to put a snowshoe or whatever, ski on. You know, I've never ever put in.
Well, I can't wait to get back on the skis. To be honest with you, I'm lining up a trip. A good friend of mine, Jan, she lives in up there in the Rockies, and I'm gonna go.
You've been in the snow before, haven't you, Johnny?
Johnny, really? you need to do it. You need to come.
No, I mean, we've had one about 5-6 years ago. We got like 6 inches of snow, which is probably the most snow we've ever had in the last 20 years. But I mean, all they did was shut school down for about 2 weeks and made the electricity go out, you know.
I think I got the perfect place for you to go. Lake Tahoe, dude. Go to Lake Tahoe because then if you don't want to ski, you could just go to Heavenly, go up to the left, come on back down, go to the California side. You can't gamble in California side. So you got to get over to the Nevada side and gamble. Yeah. Okay. And then you have, oh my gosh, you have all the other ones that
I used to snowmobile. My big hobby used to be
That's right.
And
remember what your channel name was before that?
Yeah, Idaho Sledhead was man, oh man, those big mountain sleds are something else. You can get out in the middle of nowhere in no time. They're 150 horsepower, 2 strokes, and you just hit it, and they stay on top of the snow real good. I've jumped on top off of that sled before and then gone chest deep
into
the snow. And had to pull yourself back up onto the sled. And,
How about avalanches? How about avalanches? You ever seen one or been in one?
I've never, no, and I never want to, but it's a huge danger, Robbie, and people die every year. Snowmobiles
Wow,
die
really?
every year because of avalanches. So you wear what they call an avalanche vest, and what that is, it's like a giant airbag. So if you get an avalanche, you pull that thing and it blows up. And what that does is it makes an air pocket in that avalanche for you. So at least you stand a chance of getting rescued. And then you have an avalanche beacon. So everybody in your party will carry a beacon. If you get caught in an avalanche, your beacon goes off. Everybody else's beacon then becomes a receiver.
Huh.
And they can go look for
Track
you.
you.
Hopefully dig you out. Right. Well, what
Does the bag
happens is
stay open the full time, or does it spread? And then after it's over, it'll deflate to
Exactly.
give you room to move.
exactly.
So
But
Wow.
great.
here's the thing: it still is often fatal because it just crushes you. It
Really?
crushes you, and it just becomes like cement. So,
Do the bags always work?
oh yes, yeah, that's very reliable. Yeah,
And that's also it's deployed by, if I remember right, it's a CO2 deployment.
gas cartridge, right.
Yeah,
Wow.
charges. Yeah. When you ski Arapahoe Mountain, I don't know if you've ever been to Colorado, Arapahoe A Basin is what the locals call it. You'll see a howitzer mounted on this huge platform in the middle of that ski slope in that resort. And it's pointed up at the mountain.
Oh, sure,
And-
yeah.
And every morning, if you get there early, they'll fire that thing to create those avalanches.
They're
so
knocking
you're
them
safe.
down.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Wow.
Instead of
I was
going up
curious
there.
if those bags opened or not. I was curious whether they opened or not every time. My dad was in the Marine Corps, and he said when he went to jump school, they handed him the parachute, and he said, did you pack it right? And he goes, if I didn't, bring it back and I repack it.
Well, did you see what Marcel's saying? That he would love to chase an avalanche with a drone. I'm with you, man. With Marcus in front of him trying to get away. I'm running.
No bueno.
No,
it's
muy
bueno.
Oh,
mal.
good.
Muy mal.
No, that's
Yeah, muy mal.
Muy mal.
Yeah.
No, I hear you. So I've had the opportunity to actually get on the helicopter and ski, and also
You've done
the cat.
helicopter skiing, Al?
We got the
Good
Fat
for
Boys, and dude, the guide is amazing. The guide probably had like 40 to 80 pounds of gear in the back. Again, everybody had to wear streamers and the beacons. And when we get to the top, the guide goes, all right, guys, just follow me down this line. And this dog is behind him. There's freaking huge dog. I don't even know what it was. And it would sink in the snow and jump out. And sink and jump out, following this guy. So we were watching him, and he takes off with his backpack and does the helicopters. And we're like, dang, we got to catch up. So you're wearing skis about this fat, they're called Fat Boys. So because the snow is so fluffy, and you don't, you normally carve like this. This one, you just sink and rise, sink and rise, sink and rise. And they put you up in a cabin for 3 days. It costs you about $1,500. That's what it used to cost for 3 days.
I was going to say that's cheap.
Yeah. But that was 10 years.
I'm about to say it
was
won't be like
longer than
that no more.
No, that was longer than that. That was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, $1,500. But I want to get back on the skis. I'm going to go to say,
Al, serious question, Al. I mean, I know you've had problems with your knees. Is it really wise to get back on the skis?
Yeah, I've been talking to my surgeon about that, and he's like, he told me not to water ski this summer, and I was like, he told me it's going to be a 2-year recovery on that bad knee. But my right knee that got replaced is fine, but the left one is just. It's okay, but it's strong enough now, so I'm biking hard, and I'm not running. I won't run, but I'll bike hard. So I'm ready for it. I mean, You just got to do it, because my friend that I'm going to go visit, Jan, she's actually had a double knee replacement too. And she's ski patrol. This lady's amazing, man. She's ski patrol, one of the top engineers in the field for Dell. And she's always challenging herself. So she's a medic, and she's also now doing sign language. Crazy. He's one of these people that has to stay busy.
Yeah.
Have to test, have to prove herself.
I have a goal now, and my goal is to get Johnny Alfonso up in the snow someplace.
Oh, I'll come pick you up. We'll get him there.
As long as there's no helicopters or skiing involved.
Well,
I might ride on
rent some snowmobiles. I'm serious. I could rent some snowmobiles.
You know what's even more amazing, Marcus? I've never even living with. I've never even been on the watercraft,
airboats.
Jet ski.
Never been on airboats.
Yeah, we knew what he meant, didn't we, Robbie?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about the jet skis. I never even been on a jet ski.
Yeah.
Listen, Johnny. Like just a snowmobile on the trail, you'd be fine with it. Now,
I'd love it.
Yeah, that's a whole different story.
That'd be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, on the trails and there's places like they'll just be out in the middle of nowhere,
right?
And they'll have a little hamburger stand bar thing set up, and you ride out there on your sled and have a hamburger. And I don't recommend drinking. Some people do. I wouldn't do it on a freaking 150 horsepower.
It really is not antifreeze, is it, Marcus? It actually makes it worse.
As you guys probably know, even one drink can make you pretty brave, and that's a mistake when it comes
to the wrong machine to be brave on.
Yeah.
That's like a motorcycle. I would never. I mean, I don't drink anyway, but man, a few guys, they'll go to the bike nights, but man, that's dangerous. So hey.
Yeah,
I'm sure a jet ski. I know a jet ski here in Louisiana, they ride. Man, you got kids on them things, and y'all got the snowmobile. So yeah, that could be very dangerous.
Yeah, I have jet skis, and I'm planning to take one to Florida when we do the meetup down there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but
hey,
I hate them when I'm barefooting. Yeah, Johnny, we'll take out. I hate it when I'm barefooting because they are sewer rats, is what I call them. Lake rats is what I call them. Because you want clean water when you're barefooting, and they come around and just chop it all up.
Hey, I see. I wanted to recognize. I see Northeast Journalist is in the chat here. Barry, hello, Barry.
Yeah. Barry just passed his part 107, I believe. Yeah. Congratulations.
Congrats, man, or regrets.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Marcus, y'all taped y'all show is not okay, yeah, your show
taped it. Yeah, Ron and I recorded it. Yeah.
Cool.
Hey Robbie, I saw with great interest your new motorcycle. That's pretty cool. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It's the first for me. I've never really owned a bike. I've ridden some bikes. And here is they probably have the highest death rate of any country here from scooters and bikes, cars and stuff hitting them. Yeah. So she was real concerned about me getting it and it was funny because she goes, let's just go out and we'll get something to eat, get your helmet. So we went out and I went through all these roads. We went through the city. We went through the little province area, went through this. And I was like, is she taking me through a maneuver course before she knows when she goes to work and leaves me that I'm going to be alive when I come back? It's a learning process, just the rules. Because keep in mind, I'm driving on the opposite side of the road.
Right.
So at least when I'm pulling out of somewhere, I always go left. But you got to look out because here it's not like in the U.S. In Costa Rica, you can drive a motorcycle anywhere you want. You get in traffic, you go between it and all.
Right.
In the U.S., you can't do that. So everywhere you look, you constantly have to be looking on your right and your left for other bikes.
Right.
And usually everybody will pass on the left because when you want to turn into somewhere, you actually have to cross traffic to get to it. So I'm constantly watching that right-hand side for somebody coming and getting me there. But I'm not going to ride on any major roads, only like in the province areas. And we actually bought it because in the morning, I go out each morning and get this. It's like a chicken and rice soup they have. It's a breakfast thing they have. They've got meat and stuff in. And they've got like a little flea market type deal just about on every other corner here where people make food in the mornings, street foods, and they have it out. I don't like walking that mile. So I was riding with her and I bought her a little scooter and it was great until I got on it with her. I got 8 speed bumps in the subdivision heading out. And then I told her, I was like, honey, I think I might damage your bike. And she's like, maybe you should get a motorcycle. I was like, that's a great idea. So she got me the Honda for, and it's small. It's a 300. It's nothing big. But, you know, I got it up to about 70 on the back road, and it took it fine with no issues.
Sure.
Not that I need to go that quick, but at least I can get out of the way if I need to. So it's,
well, like
it's
Marcus knows that you have to watch out. I mean, listen, I've been riding for years. I know Marcus has, but man, you know, the cell phones today just, man, I'll tell you what, it is.
I don't want to ride in town anymore. I just don't ride in town. Yeah.
Well, you got wide open country out there, Marcus. You can really just get it.
Well, I do. We do, but you know, like even when I was back when I was a working man,
I'm gonna grab something real quick.
I would want to, you know, you'd get the urge to ride the motorcycle to work, but I just had to stop myself from doing it because every day, you know, you're driving to work and you see crashes and, you know, like Johnny said, people on their cell phone and stuff. It's
bad.
Hey, Ray Kelly, Captain Ray.
Okay, guys, because I know Marcus, you'll know, and Johnny, you might know too. Now, this is the helmet that I got. Getting away from drones for a second.
Sure.
So this is the helmet that I got.
Yep.
And on the inside of this, there's a place to put a Bluetooth.
Right.
So what I want to be able to put a Bluetooth in this one and a Bluetooth in hers, so she don't have to lift and I can hear her. My issue is how do you activate it? Do you turn it on every time you put the helmet on?
You would. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you can make it where it's voice box.
Yeah, I'm about to say it's voice activated box.
Yeah.
It's okay. So
I can still have to turn it on,
and we can talk while we're driving.
Yeah. Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
But what if somebody calls? Can I switch and answer a call on it too?
It all depends.
Sure.
Yeah, it all depends how you configure it. Yeah, you should be able to.
Right.
Well, that's what I was curious of. I don't know what helmets cost in the U.S., and this was supposed to be like one of their better brands that they had, or the best brand they had here. And I think this thing was like $60.
Yeah, that's not bad. So I'm not familiar with that brand at all. I always spend $500 or $600 on a helmet myself.
Right. Well, this was the best thing that they had that I could actually buy from the Honda. The Honda dealership had them.
I'm sure it's fine. That doesn't mean it's a bad helmet at all.
Well, it was funny because when I bought the scooter, it came with like the $1.99 helmet.
Oh, geez.
So after I got the bike, I told my brother-in-law, let's go buy me and Pamika a helmet. And she was calling and saying, don't let him buy me a helmet. I already have a helmet. And I told her, honey, I don't trust that little cracker box on your little head.
I mean, even here, I know I do the 3/4 helmet, but a Harley helmet, because a Harley Davidson helmet is like $275 or so. And that's not a full. I don't do the full.
Let me tell you, Johnny, I do just like Robbie. I buy a full face helmet. I wear a full face helmet all the time. I love my teeth. I love my jaw.
Yeah.
I enjoy eating.
Yeah, I don't know. To me, I just cannot turn my neck. I don't feel comfortable with it at all.
I like that though. I like it being around because I feel like if I have an impact, it will impact here. You know, if you've got one that's not fully, you know, you're only from here back. Yeah. You're losing some of that front protection there.
Man, I feel naked. I feel naked without a full face helmet on.
Now, Marcus, I had a question for you. Do you wear leather?
I wear ballistic. So it's not
gear. You got your zip.
But I always wear all the gear all the time. ATGAT, as Johnny will know, the old phrase ATGAT, all the gear all the time. Yeah.
I didn't think about that, Al.
What's that?
I need to get Pamika in some leather.
Marcus, do y'all have in Idaho? You have to wear a helmet, or
shit. This is Idaho, Johnny. No.
I know. Once you go through Texas, I mean, and look. I've never not worn a helmet, but even in Louisiana, it was optional up to about 7-8 years ago. And when I had my little gas station down here at the corner, I had a little Chevron station, and one day, guy was putting gas in his bike. Man, he's out there with no helmet, and the state police pulled up, and he's getting gas. So, one of the guys said, "Hey, dude, that that guy just rode off with a helmet, without a helmet." He said, "He ain't gonna hurt but one person only." So
That's true.
Yeah.
I mean,
You don't even have to have a bad accident to kill yourself without.
Oh, absolutely. I got a guy that really they were actually in Tennessee, and they were going up a slope on a low to stay at a cabin. And when he went to put the kickstand down, of course, on the slope, well, the bike started leaning, and he hit his head, believe it or not, and he got hurt pretty bad from the bike falling over. So you can imagine if it's moving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the first day I rode it out here, rode the motorcycle out. David called me, and I had Pamika filming me driving, and people had the mask on and didn't have a helmet. And he goes, "What do people have masks on for?" He goes, "It's the law here." And he goes, "Really? He ain't got no damn helmet on, but he got a mask on."
He's got a mask. Yeah. Yeah.
I know. I tell you what, man. I have mixed feelings. Do you think they should enforce helmets? I think you ought to have the right to be.
I think they should. I think they should, because an idiot driver. When I was in Costa Rica, I met a guy, and he had some kind of property that people would come pay, and they'd climb up waterfalls with ropes, and it was called Stump Life. And I was like, "Why is it Stump Life Adventures?" And he was like, "Al was like you. He went out and did all this stuff. He had one leg." And I asked him, "What happened to your other leg?" And he said, "I pulled out of a gas station on my motorcycle, didn't have a helmet or anything on." And he said, "I don't know what happened. A car hit me, caught me from behind, took his leg off." I just out of the blue.
Yeah.
And I mean, just been married like a year or two, had a kid, probably 30, 31 years old. And I was like, man, what a wow.
Look, guys, people say the same thing about seatbelts, but seatbelts save lives.
Oh, yeah, you're right. They do.
Helmets can save lives too. So
that's right. It's
I
not
tell
as
you
much
what.
us as it is them. Not saying that we're perfect drivers, but you always see people say, "Oh, it's not going to happen to me." Well, if it didn't happen, we wouldn't have insurance.
Yeah.
That's absolutely right.
I'll tell you, my neighbor next door, he has an M4. He had an M4, and he had some issue with the airbag, so he pulled over and called. I don't know. He called somebody for assistance, and a state trooper showed up. Two of them showed up, and a freaking Mercedes came along, and they were on the side of the road. Killed the state trooper.
Wow.
It whacked my neighbors in the legs. He lost one of his legs. They're trying to put the other leg together now. And
I'm so sorry, Al.
It was horrifying. My poor neighbor and I were just. And the thing is, he was in North Carolina, so they took him to Duke. And Duke's policy is one visitor only. But that means one visitor. Whoever writes down, nobody else can get in to see it. And so she was fit to be tied because she couldn't go see her son because the only visitor was his wife. And so it was just a mess. And the poor guy finally got out of rehab now, but it's horrifying. And I'll tell you what,
cell phones, distractions. There's so many distractions in people's vehicles now. It's a tragedy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the little screen in front of you. I know people gripe about cell phones, but they're playing on the screen with the maps and
how many times have you found yourself when you're trying to adjust something on that center stack screen and you look up and you go, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
And that's where the newer cars are coming in so handy because they have those auto break-ins with that front camera on the front, right?
That's true.
Right? And so it'll definitely slam on the brakes. So my wife and I are traveling. We bought a Hyundai Santa Fe. Anyway, it has all those features. And I'll tell you what, those things are coming in handy. They're a little annoying with... when you're trying to pass somebody and you speed up to get through the gap because somebody's poaching in the fast lane, you know what I mean? And then the brakes hit because you got too close to this. And if you don't turn the blinker on, it'll nag you on the wheel and all that. But go ahead, Marcus.
Al, you need a bigger motor. You're running around in those little 4-cylinder cars. You just need a bigger engine, buddy. And then you just punch it.
Yeah, the
Well,
good thing
Al's
about
got a
this
big
one's
truck.
got electric. Oh, I've scared the pants out of poor Robbie a few times. There was this WRX STI coming by next to me, and I saw him in the mirror, and I was on my old 540i 6-speed, and I just dropped it to third gear, revved it up to 4,000 RPMs right on the sweet spot, and he came up, and I goosed it, man, and we were like, just getting it.
Hey, we weren't. Don't let him think we were on a straightaway. The damn road was like this. We was drifting, and I had to change my
and Robbie's
pants.
hanging on, and then I finally, I saw what was coming up, so I just like, go on, man, and I just slowed down, and he went on by me. But then he slowed down. He got next to me, and he gives me the thumbs up. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
It was a little.
Fun. Look at it. I was on the passenger side of here, and all I could see was tree.
Yeah.
Any of them that he'd hit would have took my ass out.
Marcus, did you see Dennis's love lady? He had a problem with his Mavic 3.
No.
Yeah, he actually was flying Sunday morning I think he just got it for Christmas or maybe a couple of days. It was his second flight, and actually it crashed into a tree. Live, but he actually brought it back to Best Buy. He got it down. He left it stay overnight. He couldn't get it because he was out of that Lake Lanier way flies, which I think is about an hour away from his house. So yeah, he had a happy ending to the story. He did get a drone. He got it from Best Buy.
Well,
You have to go back and watch the video because it kind of drifted, and then he brought it back, and then I don't know, it kind of went in and returned to home, and
that's really strange because Marcus, you know as well as me,
Mark
I flew it at a
Fisher
local park, and it had a cover where people cook, and I was just trying to fly into it a little bit to see what it would do. It picks it up. It picks it up a lot further distance, doesn't it? It's like
that's what it's supposed to do, yeah,
or something, and it would be like this. So I don't see how that happened.
Well, Mark Fisher had a huge problem with his Mavic 3. Remember, he returned it.
Yeah.
And he got a new one because it was twitchy. It was like
he was losing satellites as well, and I've heard people talk about that. I don't know. All I can say, and Robbie, I think you're in the same boat. I have not had any of those issues, so I don't.
Marcus, they had an update yesterday. Yeah. Was it yesterday?
I heard that, Al or Johnny. I need to fire up the drone and see if I can get it updated.
Yeah, because it's got. I think it says something about obstacle avoidance. Not better. What did they say? I don't know.
So would you?
Said he saw his drifting one day, but I don't know.
Yeah. So
always do your updates before you leave because you get out there and it wants to do an update of the field.
Oh, just say no. Say no.
I never say yes. Al used to say, I was like, Al, do we need it? We don't need it. Al, why are they telling us? We don't need it now. We'll do it later.
Yeah, just say no when you're field. So you two that owned a Mavic 3 is Robbie and Marcus. Would you recommend selling your Mavic 2 Pro to buy the Mavic 3?
I would. But I wouldn't recommend selling the Air 2S. Those are my two drones.
Yeah, the Air 2S is freaking amazing. But I had a Mavic 2 Zoom. I did not have the 2 Pro. But yeah, I mean, there's no question that the Mavic 3 is superior in almost every way.
Sure.
So unless you just want to have, you just want to keep it. That's one thing, but yeah.
Because it's a marriage of the Zoom and the Pro in the Mavic 2 series, right? Because
you
have
if you look at the age, but if you look at the age of the Pro of the 2 compared to the newer drones that are out and what they have, I would sell it and get what you can get out of it now because there are a lot of people that still want that drone.
Exactly.
It's a popular. Very popular.
Spend the money on the Mavic 3. So. Al, I would do it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to sell my Air 2, not the Air 2S. I'm going to sell the Air 2. I'll keep the Air 2S.
The Air 2S prices have really gone down. I've noticed. I mean, I've seen them for like $625.
Yeah, $500. So and so that's what I was thinking. I'm thinking I'm selling my.
Well, you can get the Air 2S with the fly more. I mean, with the smart controller for $1749. Well, if it's still available at B&H. So I know.
Did you get your smart controller with your Mavic 3? Did you buy it separate or?
I don't have a smart controller or the Pro controller. I guess they call it.
Yeah, the RC Pro.
No, I'm just going to stick with the RCN one. I think.
I bought mine separate.
Right.
Mine separate. Just, you're looking at what I paid. What I paid for about $4,000. I mean, crap. The more expensive drone for me, I wouldn't use it for that. I don't use it for that. That's like for somebody that's heavy into, doing video, like heavy stuff. I just don't need it.
So Brad
That
Alston
means nothing to me. I mean, it's just not my bailiwick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Brad also is saying that Dennis had a critical battery, and so was trying to land, and that's when it
but
it
you
hit
know
the
what?
tree limb.
I think maybe I don't know. And Dennis, I don't know if he took off, say underneath some tree limbs, and then went out, and then it was trying to return back to that spot. And
That smart return to home is not supposed to do that, Johnny. You're
it's
supposed
not.
to be able to bring it back no matter what. Well, I've seen videos of guys
But the critical
navigate through the trees to find the home point.
right.
But the critical battery, once you get under what is it on the Mavic 3, 10%, it's going to land. You have to push the stick up to keep it going.
I can say that with the Mavic 3 because I have ran it down that low before, and as you say, Al, I had to keep on the upstick.
And so that's the deal. Is trying to get home.
It'll keep trying to land it.
Right. It's trying to get home, and then if it's going to land. So if there's branches underneath it, it's going to hit them.
Yeah.
Because it wants to get down as at all
Right.
costs, so it doesn't harm.
Well,
anybody
happy ending. Best Buy is a great place to buy your drone. He said he walked in, and now when he did knock it out the tree or whoever, I think he got a pole he rigged up. Of course, when it fell, it hurt the gimbal.
Always.
So
trademark money right there.
He brought it back to Best Buy, and I think tomorrow they didn't have one, but they're shipping one, and he'll have it the next day or two. So that's pretty cool.
That's fantastic.
That's good.
Yeah. But, it's no different than, I guess, all the expensive stuff we put on FPV drones now that we break all the time. So,
I'll tell you with returning stuff, talking about Best Buy, that is one advantage sometimes with companies that do fast returns. I mean, DJI will cover a lot of stuff in certain circumstances, but they ain't going to jump out of their way to do it the same day. Where if you can get into a Best Buy or some of those stores like that, it seems like they have really good service. And sometimes it's worth getting some of the stuff from there than it is from getting it directly from the manufacturer.
Because even if he had refresh, he would have had to pay, what is it for that Mavic 3?
$250, $300?
Yeah.
Now, he wouldn't have had to pay refresh, Johnny, if it was the drone. Even if you bought refresh, you don't have to use it. In other words, if it's a warranty thing.
Sure.
True. If you can prove it was a warranty thing, yeah.
Well, they'll tell you. You send it in, and they'll look at your flight records and stuff, and they'll tell you whether they think it's your fault or they'll cover it. And I think, from what I've had one thing happen with my Mini 2 that they covered it, but I've heard a lot of people, and this is just anecdotal, but I've heard a lot of people, they will lean towards the side of taking care of you rather than
not trying to get out of it. Taking care of you.
Well, they're definitely not hurting for cash.
No. You guys are all businessmen. It's all about goodwill. You create goodwill with your customers every day. It's a big deal.
Well, DJI, that little thing under DJI, it says your account. It's got all that shit you bought. They know who you are because they constantly beat me with buy this and that. I did get the wide angle lens here for the drone because they didn't have it available on DJI site or there. But I want that car charger to charge the battery pack, and they didn't have that on the site. So I reserved, and I guess you're supposed to email me when it's available because the ND filters that came with ours that had the 4 in it, I bought the extra ones up to I think it came with to the 64 came with your drone, or the 32, 4, 8, 16, 32.
I just bought the base kit, so
it came with the 4, 8, 16, 32, and then I bought the 64 up. So I got the 8, and then they've got a wide angle. And it's funny because I was telling Al, it's $180 to get the pack of ND filters. You get one with your drone, you buy the second one, and you're getting 4 in each pack for $180. But that wide angle lens, guess how much it costs? It's $180.
Well, I got a question for Marcus. I know you got a Skydio 2. Are you going to sell the Skydio 2 because now the tracking on the Mavic 3 is so good?
let's give it a little time. We'll see.
Yeah.
The Skydio 2 is still, I think, the best tracking drone there is out there, and it's kind of been proven by a couple of. Well, DC Rainmaker did a really good review where he directly compared the two drones. Now the camera, I always thought that the camera on the Skydio 2 was great. When you looked at that footage side by side, the Mavic
no comparison,
just blows it in the weeds.
So that's the thing about it, because that camera is so good that it does, the contrast-based tracking, right? So once it locks in, it figures out your profile of contrast. So what you want to do is definitely wear something that's going to be different than your background. Don't wear green in the forest. Wear your red and wear your yellow. Something like, if you're a hunter, something that'll spot you.
They go through the woods and they catch a deer.
Yeah. Catch another hunter.
Exactly.
So that's what I've been thinking about, Marcus, because I'm thinking, all right, so is the Mavic 3 is that good at tracking? Why do I need a Skydio 2?
Hey, here's what I would say, just off the top of my and the Mavic 3 is probably tracking wise 85% of what the Skydio 2 is.
And I'll tell you why that is. It will not
Beacon
track
for
you
one
as
thing.
good. Yeah, the beacon, when you're
Right.
riding a bike and you say, get on my right, get
Right.
on my 6, get on my 9s, get on my
Yeah.
12, right?
Because it's
You just
looking
go
at you
click,
both
click, click.
optically and GPS, both.
It's
It's
both.
looking at both.
Because
right.
you got the beacon in your hand.
Right.
And so that's one of the things that, I'm like, God, do I really want to do that? Because of the fact that you can carry that beacon and you could land it, you could do whatever you want with it.
Hey, Robbie, you might be interested in this. I ordered, and I'm trying to remember what brand it was. Sunny Life, I think. One of those brands. I ordered that mount that you can attach to your handlebars with the RCN1 controller. So just the standard controller, you can mount it on your handlebars, and then you could have the Mavic 3 track you.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I did it for my electric bike and for ATV. I'll do it with the ATV.
I actually sold the remote that came with my Mavic 3
Oh, you
because
did?
I got the smart controller, and
Yeah.
I'm left with another one that I had for my Air 2S, and I actually left that at my brother's. But no, I think I'm going to pretty much try to stick with because I want something to put on the motorcycle, but I think I'm going to try the Action 2. I'm going to get a mount for this to put on there. But I'm having to like really study up on this, because the issue I'm running into is when I fill up the memory on the top part, because it doesn't have a SIM card. The SIM card's in the bottom. I'm able to plug it in and transfer it to the computer. But what I'm having issues with is when I'm going out and filming, getting it to film to the bottom storage where the SIM card is and not the top. I've only been messing with it a little bit, so I've got to work on that. But it does beautiful 4K video. I did a rafting trip, 25 minutes of rafting, and it went off in 8 minutes. I was like, and I said last time, I got to buy like a terabyte SD card. Well, come to find out, it just filled up because the top part is waterproof.
Right.
The bottom part is not waterproof. So you can only use this one. And I was on a raft, and I knew it was going to get wet, so I did that. Not that I got that wet. Otherwise, I would have taken both pieces here and taken this one too. But I've got to figure out how I can designate it to save to the SD card in this, because that way I can go and do hyperlapse.
Oh, hyperlapse, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably just a setting.
It is. But I just haven't gotten that far to do it. But I want to get a mounting for this where I can put it on the motorcycle in an area that as I'm driving by, nobody grabs it. You never know.
Right.
You're getting a bunch of people. So I'm looking for a mount for the Action 2 to go on the bike.
I would not recommend it on the bike. I'd recommend it on your body. Marcus, you probably know the chest cam is so nice because you can move your head. No, the helmet mount is such a pain in the butt because whatever you look at, it's gonna. So you put it on your chest.
Some kind of GoPro mount. I'm sure.
Yeah,
a RAM mount.
Yeah, the magnetic deal.
Yeah, you can use the
magnetic piece that fits on, and it's got an extra little piece that locks on here. So when you actually put it on your neck, and I'll stand up a little bit just for the fact that my World Drone Community name's on there. What I like about it is it physically.
Well, you got to put that inside your shirt, and then
you can. But what I'm saying is, I mean, it's not coming off.
It's solid.
You know, Ken Herron made a comment. He's like, never trust the magnet. I'll tell you one thing. This damn magnet's like freaking solid.
But if you hit something, you're gonna come off. I'm guarantee it,
dude. It would. I'll be honest with you. It would have to. I'd have to take a pretty heavy hit for this to come off. Honestly,
it'll be a shearing hit from the side. Will come off.
I would say this thing's probably got 7, 8 pounds of pressure. I mean, it's that hard. It's that hard.
You hear it clicking. That's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It's amazing that it's that strong. Because it's just the upper plate that's magnetized on this, the way that it works. But on the bottom part, of course, having that on there adds all that extra weight for it to be there.
All right, boys, I'm going to drop. We're 30 minutes over, 38 minutes over.
Yeah.
I'm going to
we got to watch the replay of Marcus and Ron here.
Yeah, you better watch. You better watch the replay that Ron and I did on Drone Nation.
No wonder you're so relaxed in here with us. You're like, got nothing to do after this.
No hurry.
No hurry at all. Yeah. In fact, I think the wife is fixing dinner. So,
Marcus, it probably feels pretty good to have a night off, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah. I mean, listen, I love doing the show. So really, I don't.
No, I know.
Yeah.
That's we got our show Wednesday night, and it'll be busy, but it comes around. I know we talk about it. Yeah, I know your Monday comes quick, and man, the Wednesday it flies. Robbie, same way for you Monday.
Listen, listen. I'll be just honest with you guys. Ron does 90% of the heavy lifting for that show. I mean, so yeah, credit to him.
Hey, don't forget, I got Thursday show coming up.
Yep.
So you guys are great communicators. Thanks for coming on today, guys. Appreciate it. It was really a blast. It's kind of like sitting next door, except for we can't drink together right now.
Oh, exactly. Everybody can kind of like. Wait a minute. Hold on.
I know, right?
I got footage coming though, guys. I got footage. I got my license and my insurance. You have to get one for each drone over here. It's kind of like a little deal. So now I'm a licensed pilot in Asia with insurance.
Congratulations, Robbie. That's cool.
Yeah, that's definitely cool.
It's hard. I don't know the metric system that well. So all the questions and crap are not, they're like meters and this and that. And I was like, hell, I'll fail this because I don't know the difference between some of this. It's different because it's just different than what we have, but just something you have to do.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen, have a good night.
Yep.
Good night.
See y'all later.
Everybody.
Bye.
Bye.